Crafting Vicky here with you, and I'm here to do some cards today using some of my, I just want to adjust this just a tad, using some of my playing cards. So basically I didn't have any more of the playing cards with the different scenes, so I made 5 different sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 5 different sets of cards, and you will find them in my Etsy store. I'll put the link down below. So one is a set of 10 miscellaneous cards. So I'll put you closer for now. So they're different scenes or different images. And I think they're really fun. So there's that. Then there's 20 more feminine ones. That's how I call them anyway. They could be used for anything, but I just had to find a way to define them. And I love that some of the, like, they're vintage cards, right? So they've been used, they've been played with, but I love the way it makes it look vintage. Like, it, you know, like you already have some age to the image. So I think it just makes the card more fun, and you don't have to do the aging yourself because the card is already prepared, right? So there's those. And then I have a set that I call more masculine, because, you know, there's golfing and there's like animals, there's sailboat. These obviously could be used for anything. The nice horse ones, I love these ones. They're just so pretty. And like this one, you know, like it's very aged, you can see, but it's been well loved. But I love the distressing that it gives to the card. Just making sure that I'm in frame. And this. Then I did some background ones. So these are, except for the first set that I showed you guys, they're all sets of 20 cards. So obviously you could use the other side, but the point was more to use these because some of them are like really fun. Like they have different type of it's different types of playing cards. So they could be used for other things, but you know, and some have designs, like they have scenes and stuff, but I like the background, so that's why I put them in the background, these ones. And then finally I did a set of 20 for kids. So these are more, this is the only one that's not really a playing card, but I like the background, and I thought it's the same playing card size, and it would be perfect for a birthday. This here, I could have gone with the background, but I like the imagery on it. Same thing here, you could use the background or you could use the Batman. And this could also be used either way. So could this. This here is 3, like it changes. You can see the kind of so I thought it was fun. You've got a Care Bear one, then a little cat one. This could also be used on either side. And this one was a Disney Fairies. So obviously, like they're different. You won't have 2 that are exactly the same. Same thing with this. It could be used on either way. You could cover this up. And same thing with these. So those are the kids one. So I figured that we would use some of these as the inspiration for this week's cards, and that I would make some that I could use to give to my friend, because I'm really trying to make the cards ahead this year so that I'm not last minute. So I've pulled out my sentiments, which are in digital format, so you can find these in my Etsy store as well if you want to print them. They come with a set of English and in French, so if you want to just print the English, you can. If you want to just print the French, you can. There's hello, there's thank you, there's happy birthday, hello, thank you. That might... I'm always confused. I never remember exactly what's in it. I think that's it. Hello, thank you, and happy birthday. Yeah, and they're in, as I said, both languages. So you've got whichever one that you want. And there's not a lot of French sentiments, so it's kind of useful. So I've pulled out a bunch of my different scraps of paper, and I thought that we could use those for this card making session. I'm gonna back out a bit. Kind of dark. Put more light for you guys. And so I've pulled out some smaller ones and some bigger ones, 2 bigger ones. I figured for the smaller ones, like for example, this here I'm thinking of using for happy birthday and putting the happy birthday. And like, but these here I'm thinking more layered and more and then the sentiment more at the bottom. So that's why I pulled out 2 bigger ones for these, and I thought for these I would do the smaller ones. So yeah, let's get going. I've only pulled out 5 because I figured that would be plenty. That's usually about the number of cards anyway that I do, so I didn't want to put a timer, and I just thought it'd be easier that way. So I've got everything next to me. Let's get going. Let's start off with this Bugs Bunny one, which I just think is so fun, and I think it's kind of perfect for a kid. So see, my scrap here is just the right size for this. So I need to trim my card a bit though, because it's not even the folding. So I'll just cut it down just a tad. And these, because the fact that there's the thank you on it, it really needs to be, like, the thank you goes from one side to the next, so it really needs to be covered. I can't just use, you know, sometimes the sentiment that you have on your card is not going to go all the way across, and then you can use the white border, but in this case I really can't. And I think I'm just going to use the scissors to cut around, because this way I can make sure that I don't cut too short, which happens to me all the time. So I hope you're all doing fabulously well, and here it's starting to feel a bit more like spring, which is amazing. I'm so excited. I've been longing for spring for so long, so it's really nice to finally feel like it's coming. The geese are flying back home, so that means that it's good. I was waiting anxiously for Marty to tell me that they were coming, and then I heard them, and she sent a message to me pretty much the same day, saying that she heard them and they were coming. So I was happy to see that happening. I'm thinking that it'd be fun to have a little bit of yellow like that, just to make it pop, because otherwise blue on blue I'm thinking is a bit boring. And if I use this, I could actually use the full sheet, and it would be fun to use. And somehow, I don't know what happened, but I managed to have a bit of white showing. I think it's where I cut the white, but not enough, I guess. Okay, so I'm thinking this and that. And then I could use, I thought I pulled out all the scraps that I needed, but I'm thinking I could put a little bit of a blue, you know, like I have tiny little bits of paper that maybe I could put on top of this with the happy birthday. Or I could just leave it this way and put the happy birthday underneath. That's a possibility. So let's check this out. We'll cut out the happy birthday and then we can test it out and see which one, how we want it. So I love using playing cards like this for making cards because it's pretty easy. And I'm selling the kits because of the fact that, you know, sometimes you might not want to have 20 different playing card kits. It can get pretty expensive, whereas when you have a different set like that, you really do have all the different options that you need, but they're all different. They're not, you know, like you're not, you don't have 20 of the same. And it allows me to pass on some of the ephemera that I've got, because obviously I also don't want to play with the same thing over and over again. However, I do have more because of the fact that I sell it and I use it a lot for my videos and such. So to me it's useful to have it. I make altered playing cards as well and all sorts of things like that. But for other people it might not be. Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna put this on the blue and then cut around it and then see how I want it, because this little blue piece here would be perfect for this, and obviously it's not a piece that I can use for anything else since it's basically already cut. You know, it has a hole in the middle. And it's just the right size for this. And I like having multi-layers. So it could be this. You could even put a little bit of this around. Maybe that would be the solution, actually. He would have been a fun character as well to use. I don't want to use Bugs Bunny, but yeah. So you've got multiple options when you get the cards. You could use the fun character or Bugs Bunny. I like that even better. And I've used up more scraps, so that's good all around. And because my kid has a lot of my friend has a lot of kids, she will be happy, I'm sure, to have some like this that she can use whenever she needs. So here we go. A fast, easy little one. Now we've got this one, which is, I'm thinking, another birthday card. Now I have different options for this. I could put this as the back. It's similar colors, so I could put this and then layer it with that. I think that might be fun. Is this one cut straight? Pretty much. Okay, so we'll do that. And then I can use both pieces. Now for that one, because the balloons are going like that, maybe I should do it that way. The card. I will see, I guess, once I put it on. I think I'm better off doing it this way. Got more control, I believe. but we shall see. Maybe I won't feel that way once I've layered it down. Okay, and then I'm thinking like that. And then I could use the balloon. Does it fit? Yeah, it fits this way. And then I could put like the happy birthday at the top here. Because I'm not sure I like this little thing. So far these have been really easy, and I've been lucky because I've been able to use like a lot of my scraps, which is pretty awesome, I must admit. Like, I'm really glad when I use up a lot of it. I don't know if I have one, a happy birthday that's small enough to fit in this little one, because it's really small. Well, there's this one here that would fit. So they're written in all sorts of different fonts, which makes it easy for you to use and to have different options, you know? Just like here, I'm using the smaller one for my card. And there's 4 columns of each of the sentiments, which means that once you've printed a sheet, you've got a lot to cover you. And I'm just a tiny bit short, like short in with the blue. Okay, so this works. And we could put it here. Kind of like it over here. And voila, another fast little card. Then for this one, we're going to use it as the background for something, and I'm thinking maybe one of the hellos would be cool. I could actually use a punch or something. I've put my punches away, but let me pull one out. Because I'm thinking I could put a round punch in the middle, and that might be a good solution to hold the hello and make it a little bit more fun. So maybe the big one. Now let's see for the background what color we want. So I've got this here that could be used. Also have like this, but I don't think so now. Have this here, which could be a nice combo since there's some, you know, both of these colors are kind of in there. So you've got that and you've got the green. If I use this, I would like, I think, to have multi-layers. So have this maybe, and then something else as well. I don't know why. It's too bright. Or maybe the yellow. We put this. Let's put this down, because this one I know for sure is going to be the base. And then we can see, because it's kind of hard to figure out what size is the card when I have this bigger piece of paper that's just like lying over, and it's not giving me the true feel of what this card is going to be. So here it is. See, already it makes a big difference, because this looked very tiny versus the big piece. However, now that I've cut it down, it seems quite big. So, and I could put that on top. Or I do the reverse. But I think I prefer the card on top of this color. And I prefer the yellow to be on top of the green. So I will do it this way. And because I'm cutting once it's glued, I don't have to measure, which is awesome, and saving some time. Anything to save a few minutes here and there. Okay, so then I could do this, and I could, can I cut it enough that it's going to be covered? Hopefully it will. And if it's not, then I'll have to figure out another plan of action. Yeah, it's good enough. Yes, good. Got a bit worried. And I can put this on top with the hello. But I was thinking, I'm not sure if it's gonna fit or not, but we can try it. I could have done the same thing and used the piece that was underneath, but I didn't think of it at the time. So let's see if I can cut this little hello to make it fit. Cut this one like that. And it's gonna fit. Yes, it will. This is perfect. Okay, so let's glue this one on top of that, and then we can cut the bottom part. I'm gonna try to align it so that it's pretty much even on all sides, like so. Then we can cut the excess. Actually, could have cut it a little bit more, like that. And glue that on top of this, and just make sure that I've got it opening the right way, because I've done that many times. And I'm sure I'm not alone in doing that. Okay, so like that, and then I'm gonna put the layers of circle in the middle. Like that. And finally, this little one. And we've got a very colorful, cheerful, spring-like hello card, which can be used for any type of occasion, you know? So then we've got these two cards. I'm thinking for this one, I have a teal type of paper. Like I've got that one, have this one, which would be, those would both be pretty. Also have this. So this might be, because this is too small to be the background. But then if I was to, this would be just the right size to have a white layer, light white border, which might be cool with this little guy because he's got a pale shirt. So let's do that. Pencil rule. And this way I don't have to cut another piece of paper because I don't have in my stash another teal that would have been big enough. Here we go. And then I could put him on here or I could put him on here. I'm thinking this would pop more and then I could layer that on top. So I'm gonna cut this straight, just to give myself a chance. And this already, do I need to cut it further? Yeah, a little bit, eh? So I will need to cut it a bit further, but so like that. And then I can cut this. Or I could put the happy birthday at the bottom here. Let me see if I can use that. This happy birthday is smaller, I think. So if I was to put this one at the bottom. And then it brings back the white that I have underneath. So it makes it work even better. And I totally cut this wrong. So I could put this like that. And then the white goes back, like it fits, makes it look better. Makes it look even more intentional. Here we go. And then I can cut that like so. And then cut it around here. Even a little bit more. Like that. And then I can put that on top of this for an added layer. Actually, could I use it this way? So I feel like that would be a little bit wider than on the other sides. Now I think that's super sweet. Now we could put it here and put some bling, but I'm thinking this could be more of a masculine type of card or for a little boy or something like that, and I don't feel like the bling would add to it. Kind of like the simplicity of this, the way it turned out. And I love that I was able to use like the piece as much as possible. So really using a lot of scraps, which is pretty awesome. Here we go. And then we've got one last one, and it's this one. Now for this one, I have this here, which is a dark color, which I could put either fully or I just leave a tiny bit of white. And then I could layer this this gray on top, or I have this here as well, which could be pretty. It's not quite the right blue for this. I want a blue, but I don't want that one. Have this blue here. It's not much better. I thought I was going to be okay with the choices I had pulled out, but I guess, you know, you never know when you're going to be making the card what's actually going to fit or call to you. This one as well. Wonder if I have a bigger piece of blue to use as the bottom part. Have this here. What about this on top of that? Not calling to me. I have a black piece somewhere here. Let me see if that would be better. If I was to put the black and then this here. Or this here. Not the best of colors to go together. Have this one here. Is that the same? I think so. Oh, and I have this one here, which is a grayish, bluish color. So what about that one instead of the black? Like more something like that. The combination of all the blues that I'm not sure. I've got different options, but I could even layer one more like that, but Or I could layer with the gray. No, I don't like that. I have this shiny type of blue. I like the fact that there's a shine to it. Okay, we'll start off and then we'll see from there, because as I said before, it makes it a little bit harder to see. Now I'm thinking there's already a distressed edge here, and this is distressed, so this might be a cool thing to distress even further. So let me pull out my distressing tool. Here. Whoops. Pulled out something else. I'll cut it first, and then I think I'm going to distress the edge, because then it's going to look even more intentional with the fact that the card is a distressed look, and I think it's going to be fun, and it's going to be different than the other cards I've done. Plus it gives me the chance to use the tools I've got, so it's all good. So this one is a creative memory tool that I've had for years and years. I know Tim Holtz also does a distressing tool like this. You could also use the your scissors, like the edge of your scissors. I've done that in the past, like kind of like this, and then distress it like that. You can see it works as well, except that I don't dare use my scissors like that because I'm gonna probably hurt myself, which is probably why I bought the tool, because I must have at one point done something that wasn't the smartest thing to do. It happens to me a lot. So that is probably the reason. So we'll put this down, and I like the distress edge to this. I think it gives it a nice look. Then we'll put this one down. And we'll do the same thing to the edges. I missed some of them. Need to make sure to go all the way to the edge. Like so. And then this one I won't edge, so I'll just put my card down like this, and I'll cut the side. I won't cut the bottom because I don't know if I'm going to put a sentiment on it yet. Depends on the other piece, I guess. And then I guess I could use it. And I have a small one here that would be good, or maybe the bottom one. I Actually, let's use the bottom one. This is going to be the first one I'm cut. So the least little pieces I have, the better it is, because then I don't lose them and I use up my sheet as much as possible. This is just printed on regular copy paper using my inkjet printer, so nothing fancy. Okay, so let's do that here, and then I'm gonna cut this down. So, and then I can figure out how this is gonna go. Actually, it's gonna have to be cut a little bit more because it's not gonna fit. There won't be enough edge of the other paper to look pretty. So we're just gonna cut it right over here. It's a lot of layers, and we're kind of stuck with some of the paper being just the right size. Like I couldn't adjust it. Like I used the piece as it was. So basically gave the next layer is the biggest size that it could be. Otherwise I could have used a little bit more of the edge of the, you know, remove some of the white. I really love the ragged look that this has. I think it really makes the card, and it's perfect with the image. So even though the card is really used up, it looks just like perfect. So here's the card. I'm loving how it turned out, like really loving it. I think the distressing was the perfect way to finish it off. So here are all the 5 cards that we've made using playing cards. I think they're really fun, easy, as you could see, and I really hope that if you've enjoyed this card making session, go and check out in my Etsy store below the card sets that I've made for you guys, and I hope that it's inspiring for you guys. So love you all, and bye.